Hi guys, what's up? I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing my short preview for Doctor Who's next episode, The Lie of the Land. And so, just before we start this episode, I really want to say a few words about three-parters, and what I initially think about three-parters in their general sense. It's because that they're very difficult to achieve, and they're very difficult to do. Because there is so much detail needed to be added in every single episode, but there's only the capacity enough to add detail into only 2 episodes, not 3 episodes, if it's just like for a double story. But if it's like a triple story, then 3 episodes might be possible, but it's very, very difficult to achieve it. Because this is what I generally think about three-parters and how each episode in a three-parter generally plays out throughout the entire three-parter. So you have the beginning episode, which seems like to be the very backstory to this three-parter, building up that suspense and tension, and that intrigues you of what's going to be happening next within the next 2 episodes. That's what I generally think about the first episode of a three-parter. Then you have the middle part. Now, obviously, in my opinion, I think that the middle part does seem to be bland, and there's not really much detail you can add in the middle part. So I generally see that the middle part is technically the weakest, and I just see it as a very bland part. And you have the final conclusion, the final episode, which seems like to be like the final episode to fully conclude everything into one little detail and stuff like that. So that's what I generally think about three-parters, in my honest opinion. But the way that it's gone so far with the three-parter we're having at the moment, it's gone well better than what I expected. Extremis was really bizarre, but really confusing, but I fully understood, what they would try to do. And Stephen Moffat, of course, he was diabolic for an episode. His writing sometimes goes out the window when he thinks too much, but I think Extremis was a really, really good backstory, a really good starting episode to this three-parter. So that was a really, really good, strong start to this three-parter. And then we had the Pyramid at the End of the World, which was another great, solid middle. It was really well detailed, really well executed. And now we have this episode, The Lie of the Land. So let's just hope this could be the final brilliant conclusion to this amazing three-parter. That's just what I really hope for. I mean, this episode could go either way. The one word that I saw in the Next Time trailer is truth. And there's going to be a lot of truthfulness in this episode. So we might have to see what is the truth about this episode. Bill Potts only knows the truth and stuff like that. And judging by the look of the episode, the one word that I could possibly describe this episode in one full word is dark. This episode is truly dark. I don't see any bright, colourful colours about. I generally see pale grey, dark black, and it just feels like a grey and dark setting. It feels like a really atmospheric episode. So that's what I generally think about the feel of this episode. It feels really, really dark. And let's just hope that the storyline is really dark as well. Really interesting and really intriguing. So let's just hope with it. Anyway, let's move on to the actual synopsis itself on my little old phone that I'm having right here. So, The Lie of the Land is written by Toby Whithouse. Now, Toby Whithouse did a few episodes for Doctor Who, and he's a great experienced Doctor Who writer. He's done Before the Flood and Under Lake two-parter from Series 9. He's done Town Called Mercy, School Reunion, Vampires of Venice. So there's quite a lot of episodes that he's done for Doctor Who, and have been quite successful. And is directed by Wayne Yip. Now, he hasn't directed Doctor Who, but he has directed Class. Now, I can't really describe things to do with Class and Doctor Who. Class is very much for older generation, adult kind of version of Doctor Who, whereas Doctor Who is more like a family show and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into too much detail about Class, but that was one of the best things I liked about Class. The direction was really, really good. And so, the actual synopsis is: the world is gripped by a mass delusion, and only Bill Potts can see the truth. When even the Doctor is fighting on the wrong side, it's up to Bill to convince the Time Lord that humanity is in deadly danger. And if she can't do that, she might just have to kill her best friend. Wow, what an absolute brilliant synopsis. That is absolutely a banging synopsis. What a great way to end a three-parter with a synopsis like that. That is absolutely amazing. But I just really have to say that I'm really looking forward to this episode. This episode looks awesome, it looks dark, it looks intriguing, and storyline I'm really looking forward to. And I feel it's like it's the 6 months where the monks have officially taken over the world, and they're taking over the humans and stuff like that. They're possessing them in some way. That I've seen a few promo pics of Truth truth police and stuff like that, different versions of the monks and stuff like that. So there must be some, other monks involved. It must be maybe some, other boss monks and stuff like that. So maybe they could be involved with what's going on, and only Bill Potts knows the truth. Now that's really, really interesting. Now only she can know the truth of what's going on here. She knows everything of what's going on. Even Nardo doesn't know it. And we've seen in a few promo pics that Bill and Nardo are working together, but only Bill knows the truth about these monks and no one else. So it definitely feels like Last of the Time Lords. It feels like Martha saving the entire world. She was the only person who could save the world. And it's very much like this, that Bill only knows the truth in this episode. So there's so many similarities with Bill and also Martha as well from Last of the Time Lords. So there's so much similarities with Bill and Martha. And also, Missy will be back in this episode, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I thought her in Extremis was really good. Many people thought her performance was quite pointless, and maybe let's just hope that she does a much important role in this episode. Maybe she could be the person that Bill goes to and maybe asks for help or something like that. And maybe it could be the interesting, brilliant dynamic that Missy could be on the good side, facing off against the Doctor, who's on the wrong bad side. So we're not too sure, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Missy in this episode. She needs to really prove herself a bit more, because I know from Extremis she didn't really do too much, so I'm hoping that she does something really fantastic in this episode. We really need to see a bit more from Missy's brilliant side, so let's just hope that we get that. And also, I do think that the Doctor was on the wrong side for this episode, like it says in the synopsis. Now, that's something quite different. Now, the one thing that is really baffling me, how come the Doctor came onto the wrong side in the first place? Now, at the last episode of The Pyramid at the End of the World, last time we saw the Doctor, he managed to escape from being blown up, potentially. So, how the hell did he get onto the wrong side in the first place for this synopsis? I have no idea. So, I think this episode will start random, like how the hell did the Doctor go onto the wrong side, and the whole world would have changed like instantly. Like it must have been like the first 6 months that the monks have arrived and taken over the world, and only Bill woke up and saw monks everywhere, and only she knows the truth about these monks, because although she gave the monks her consent, now the monks know everything about the humans and everything, and now since they have possession of controlling the world, could they in fact possess the Doctor? Now since they've given the Doctor his sight back, could they potentially control the Doctor himself? So that's something really, really interesting. I just probably hope that if it could be that the monks could possess the Doctor, and it may not be a double bluff or something like that, we're not too sure. But if it is not a double bluff, then it will just show how powerful these monks are. And I'm just really looking forward to it, because I feel like these monks have really proved themselves in the last 2 episodes. I think they are potentially serious about taking over the world. They are really, really powerful, and I really want to see that if this world, that the first 6 months that they've taken over the world, if it's not a simulation, then I will be really happy. Because if it is a simulation, then it will just show a lack of quality, a lack of wisdom, a lack of power from these monks, that they've not really taken their opportunity well. Because they have the whole world to themselves. Why not exploit the humans in this real world? Don't do it in a simulation shadow world. There's no point, it's just pointless for them to do another simulated shadow world for all of this to take place. I just really hope it's the real world, because it would really make things really serious and really intriguing and very much atmospheric. It would really build up this episode so much. And also with this episode, it will really build up Bill's character, and this is way beyond Bill's character. I mean, we obviously see Bill as a really fun and realistic companion, but this is taking her character ability to another level. She's absolutely going over the limit with her character, and what makes her pull the trigger against the Doctor is so intriguing. I'm really interested to see how far Bill goes with her character in this episode. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm just really hoping that Bill does an absolutely fantastic job, and even so if she could pull it off, I would absolutely put my hands down and say, well done Bill, you were absolutely amazing. So we'll just have to see how Bill copes with this episode. And also Nardo. Now I'm not too sure if Nardo is going to be, properly okay in this episode. Like in the last episode, he was collapsed on the floor and he suffocated only because he had cheap lungs and stuff like that. And I'm not too sure how he copes with this episode. Like, Is it going to be on the doctor's side, or is it going to be on Bill's side? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about Nala in this episode. I think he pops up now and again, but I'm not really too 100% sure if Nala is going to be in on all of this. I'm not too sure about Nala. I think he's the one mystery in my mind I'm not too sure about. And there is the biggest question of all in this episode. Is the Doctor going to regenerate? Now, in my mind, I think that this question is overly repeated over and over again. Is the Doctor going to regenerate? My answer is no. No, I don't think it's going to happen in this episode. It might lead to his official regeneration, but obviously it will not be his legitimate regeneration. It may just be a cop-up or something like that. I'm not really too sure if it is going to be a cop-up or is it not. It could be a flash forward in the future where his regeneration could happen, but it's not really taking place right here, right now. So it could be another cop-up or something like that. Like they did with the 10th Doctor in Stolen Earth, where the Doctor regenerated back into himself. That was really well executed at the time. But now if they try to do something similar with that, I would think that they've just played too safe. They really need to think about this regeneration so far through, because it's too risky to have a regeneration right now, and they really need to pull it off, because otherwise they need to make this regeneration really believable, that this could actually be. He's like, oh no, wait, no, is he actually gonna go? Is he actually gonna go? So it needs to be believable. We really need to be really interested with this episode, but obviously they really need to make this so believable that this could be his potential regeneration, but we obviously know it's not. But it needs to be something they really need to pull this regeneration off, because it's absolutely risking the entire episode. This regeneration scene could make or break the episode. What's the outcome for this regeneration? I'm not really too sure, but I have a good decision that this episode will not be the Doctor's full official regeneration. It could be like a preview to the 2017 Christmas special, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. But I think that really concludes for this preview. I think I've really discussed everything about how Bill is more the focal point in this episode, and we really need to see a bit more from her from this episode, because she's going to be the main focus and only she knows the truth. And even so, I'm really excited to see what triggers Bill to shoot the Doctor. It's something absolutely amazing, but I'm really hoping that we get an interesting plot line, an interesting well-written storyline. Hope that the feel of it makes the whole episode really dark and really intriguing. It's going to be an absolutely brilliant, awesome episode. I cannot wait for the Lie of the Land. And also Missy will be returning, and how maybe she'll have a bigger role in this episode, we'll just have to wait and find out. But I think that really concludes for this episode, and let's just hope that is the Doctor on a double bluff, or is he actually really possessed by the monks? Is he actually on the wrong side for real? We might just have to get Missy to fight against the Doctor. We're not too sure, but I'm really looking forward to this episode. It's really, really intriguing. And so anyway guys, thank you very much guys for watching for this preview. I hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like on this video, and also comment down below what you think could happen in this episode, and make sure you do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So thank you very much guys for watching for this preview, and I'll see you guys next time for my review for The Lie of the Land, which I hopefully won't be here. I'll probably be back at home doing my normal reviews as per usual. But anyway guys, thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for my review on The Lie of the Land. See you then.